Welcome to Provo, Utah, Lavelle Edwards Stadium, home to the 1984 national champion BYU Cougars, and this, one of the more intimidating venues in all of college football. What a game we have in store for you today. A Big 12 showdown, and the implications could last for the rest of the season. As we'll see, the Boise State Broncos taking on the BYU Cougars. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going. The Broncos will kick it away first. That ball scoots through the back of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. First down here for the offense. They're going to open this drive with a pass. Zings it complete to the right. And he goes out of bounds after coming up with positive yardage there. When you have a conference as deep and balanced as this Big 12 is, it's important to get off to a quick start in conference play.
Yeah, you're going to be challenged each and every week here in the Big 12 Conference. Since they've expanded, the quality of this conference has gotten so much better. So, David, big challenge here to make sure mentally your mind is right starting the season off today.
Yeah, I mean, to make your dreams come true, it starts one game at a time, the old cliche. But the Big 12, year in and year out, so many different teams that can beat you, so many different teams that can put points up on the scoreboard. Got to start fast in Big 12 play.
It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Looking for a man. It's Retzlaff. Just a short pass to the tight end. Brought down at the 47-yard line after the 15-yard pickup. Ever since they invented the forward pass, the tight ends have been running the drag and getting the first down.
I think it's because the tight ends is so much versatility. You know, they can block and stay in the formation, or they can release and come out. But either way, if the quarterback's patient most of the time, that drag route's going to come over.
They make the stop at the 37, but not before. He's got 10 yards and the first down.
First down, you know you always want to establish the running game. How about this offense? Nothing fancy. Run the football, be physical, get a big gain.
They'll ride the hot hand. Ripping off a good chunk inside the 25, and they're set up with a first down.
This defense is going to have to do a better job slowing down the run. We've seen twice now in this opening drive this guy break one. And so this defense has to do a better job at the point of attack, and their D coordinator probably is already thinking to himself, do I have to get another guy in the box to slow this guy down?
And the Cougars have it with a 1st and 10. The give to the tailback. And he'll pick up one. It brings up 2nd and 9.
You know, I think a big part of this isn't necessarily scoring a touchdown on that play, but you're just trying to get your offensive line in the rhythm of the game. Let those big fellas get lathered up.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Quarterback changing the plays at the line. They're looking to get the edge with this one on the toss. They're there to stop him at the 21 after a pickup of 2.
Well, we know this running back's a playmaker, and he's a guy they want to get going early and often in this game.
Also, you can wear out those big defensive linemen by making them chase.
Yeah, I like the idea of going outside. You want to mix and match it between the tackles to the outside. Get these big fellas running east-west.
Just outside the red zone at the 21, but it's 3rd and long. Looking for a man. It's Retzlaff. It's incomplete, but here comes the flag, and I think it's going to be a first down.
And the defender just way too handsy on that last play. You could see all the contact as the ball was in the air. He simply can't do it, and the referee's caught it.
The offense comes back out with a new set of downs after the penalty. They'll ride Davis here.
And a nice job by the running back, finding space, getting downhill, making the good run. Great job finishing with his pads.
Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. From the gun, the ground game. And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, BYU!
And they just keep feeding it to their workhorse back to open this game. Great job in the open field. He's got tremendous vision. He can make people miss. You saw all of that on display here in the opening drive.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the PAT makes it 7-0. They put together a 65-yard drive for the score and close the deal with a 3-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team out there and ready to go. And they thought about a return, then thought better of it. They'll bring it out to the 25. Here comes the offense on first down. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36.
Man, who says you can't run up the middle anymore, right? Everybody thinks, I got to make big plays. I got to go way out to the left, way out to the right, way out in space. Nope, right down the middle. Nice blocking. How about the running back? You could tell the speed, the wheels, does a great job getting down the field, making a huge rushing play.
They've got it at the 36. It's a 1st and 10. They're going to ride this running back. Makes the stop at the 49, but not before he gets in plus territory, gets 15 and a first down.
I'll tell you what, a few more runs like that, and defensively you start thinking more guys in the box, more big guys. I better stop this guy because he's unbelievable. Just a great job breaking off the big run, and the OC is going to give him the ball some more.
Gets it out fast. And a good job of coverage by that defense, just a short pickup.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver, and you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
Offense gets set for second down. To throw, it's Nelson. Get it out on the screen. And they wrap him up, but not before he's got enough for the first down.
There's a lot of different ways this offense can attack you throwing the ball. One of them is getting the running back going, and the screen is a great way to get him lathered up and get the defense starting to think about him a little bit more now.
And the Broncos have it with a 1st and 10. Wide out in motion. Looking to go up top on first down. Right through his hands, incomplete. I think he knew he had a chance for a big play, but it'll be second down.
We know this guy's a weapon, not just taking handoffs, but he can catch the ball too. That play, not so much. Got to do a better job reeling it in.
And now on second down for this offense. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Terry. Breaks the tackle. Just making a play, getting it to the 23-yard line. It'll be first down.
And that's why QBs love their tight ends so much, right? Especially when they're athletic, because they make short throws turn into long gains. Because of his ability after the catch, it's so unique and special. He is dominant in this offense.
Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. Give to the running back. And he'll pick up a few yards before he's dragged down, and that'll be the end of the first quarter.
BYU 7, Boise State 0.
Second down now as they're ready to go back to work. Running the red zone. It's Genty. Fights through the pile and picks up a couple down to the 16.
I'll tell you, this is a running back who's very, very dangerous, and the defense did a good job getting him down there. But you got to do a great job game tackling, because this is a guy that can break tackles and turn those types of plays into home runs.
They've controlled the football on this drive. The 8th play will be a 3rd and 3. Back to throw, it's Nelson. They've got the screen set up. Fighting off the defender. Goes out of bounds just short of the goal line, and they'll be set up and in great position here.
Really nice play call there, because the defense might have been thinking on 3rd and short in the red zone, they're probably going to run the football. Instead, they throw it, catch them off guard, and now they've got 1st and goal.
They'll use the running game on 1st and goal. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
As a quarterback, you've got to know in this area of the field, it's tough to throw, right? The windows, they open and close so quickly when you get down to the red zone. What helps you is running the football, but that's tough today because you're going up against one of the top 25 defenses stopping the run.
After getting knocked back, it's 2nd and goal from the 4. Tries again to get it in. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Man, and that's a frustrating play when you go in reverse near the goal line, goal-to-go situations, Palmer. You got to get those positive yards. You can't go backwards if you're trying to get a touchdown.
You know, I'm trusting in my quarterback here to make the right decision. Looks like we're going to have to throw it, right? But if it's not open, just throw this thing away. You don't want to take a sack, lose extra yardage here. Just be smart with the football.
Looking to throw on 3rd and goal. Trying to get to it. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
Yeah, and 3rd and short, they choose not to run, throw the football, and I think a lot of that has to do with they know they're in field goal range, and they can take the 3 points on the board.
Now on 4th down, they'll send out the field goal unit. Never an out. So after the last drive ended with a field goal, the kickoff team out there to send it away. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. BYU offense headed back out to go on the attack. And David, how they would love to stick it in the end zone one more time after that last drive.
And once you get the defense on their heels and you back them off a little bit, you get in a little bit of rhythm, it's really hard to stop, Jesse, and they're going to try to do it again right here.
And if you're this play caller, you're loving what's happening right now, because everything you dialed up on that last drive ended up working out. You're just looking at your play sheet. Everything you're picking is working. Let's see if they can pull it off again here.
Big play out of the gate to start this drive, and here they come again. Out of the gun, the inside give. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
Don't you love energetic defense? defenses that fly around and make things happen, the ones that get in the backfield, the running back tries to go somewhere. Where do you want him to go? There is nowhere to go. Nice job by the defense creating the tackle for a loss on first down.
Quarterback will audible. Back to throw, it's Retzlaff. Got the quick pass. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Really good defense. You know, you're trying to stay as close as you can to all these targets, and most importantly, those open field tackles and getting them on the ground as soon as they catch it. That's a major deal for defenses, and that was a good example there.
And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. Fourth down coming up.
As a quarterback, this is going to be a very tough game. You're going up against one of the top 20 units in the entire country. They know who your primary target is. They're going to be keying on him just like they did that last time, forcing the incompletion.
He's able to pick his way for just a bit, but he'll be stopped at the 18. Good job by the punt team. Boise State has it back, ready to go to work on offense. Had to settle for the chip shot field goal last time, Jesse. They'd love for this one to pay off bigger.
Yeah, it just comes down to execution, too. Did a nice job out in the field, stalled a little bit. The goal line, so they just need to be a little bit more crisp here.
Yeah, and listen, I think the first part was the most important part. You got to put the drive together first to get down there. Now, when we get down there, focus on execution and getting 6 points.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. He's looking to throw. Takes a hit as he fires. And he intercepts it. And he's going to take it all the way. Touchdown, Cougar! What a play by this defense with the pick six.
And how about the defender? Exactly what you're supposed to. Breaks on the football, makes the interception. Everybody on defense, we turn to offense. Go lay some blocks so my guy can get it and take it back to the house.
And the extra point makes it 14-3. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
All right, guys, want to update you on a game that went final moments ago. Colorado steamrolled its way to victory today. They scored off turnovers, they scored on gadget plays, an all-around masterpiece that'll give the folks in Boulder a ton of confidence. The circle of life in college football, where one team moves on feeling like kings, and the other heads home licking its wounds.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there. Kevin, thanks for the update. Boise State ready to send out that offense. The big thing now, don't get rattled by that last pick six, David.
Nah, it was a big mistake. Obviously, the defense took advantage of it, but you got to put it behind you. Jesse, I'm sure you know a thing or two about throwing a pick six and how to rebound.
I believe I've only thrown one in my life, but yes, I do because of that singular instance. I'll say this. You can't let that play beat you twice. You got to go out and not try to get it all back here in one play. Just execute the offense.
Second down here, and maybe they've got time to get one more snap off before the 2-minute warning. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and this thing has been one-sided, and they hope to at least have something to feel good about going into halftime. Line getting set on second down. To the air, it's Nelson. And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit.
Well, the quarterback knew he wanted to go to his tight end on that play. He's a big physical target, but it was the hit on the play that forced the incompletion.
They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up fourth down.
I think for the quarterback, he's going to have to be so good with his eyes in this game. You're going up against one of the best defenses in the country. You've got to look guys off, especially when you're trying to throw to your primary target like he was on that last one.
Fields to punt and try to pick up some yards. The solid return there offsets some of the punt yardage and really sets up this offense nicely. BYU has it back. The Cougars ready to get into that playbook. After a punt on their last possession, they are set up in plus territory this time. And it's intercepted. A turnover for the defense. He was looking for that big return to go with the pick, but he'll set him up in business at the 36.
Really nice job there by the defense because I think they baited the QB into trying to fit that one in over the middle of the field. Remember, it's a big zone coverage. They've all got their eyes on him back there in the pocket, and they just let him feel like maybe I can fit this football in. Not so fast. They come away with the pick.
Comes out throwing on first down. Going to try to pop one on the screen. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down.
Hey, man, sometimes you get the perfect play call at the perfect time. That time the defense blitzing, offensive line allowed everybody to run upfield, and they slip in the running back screen, and behind it there was nobody there to make a tackle, and this offense generates a massive...
And that pass intercepted. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception. He looked as if he thought he had it all the way, and this junior makes a play.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision making.
The BYU offense headed back out to go on the attack. Well, let's see if this drive goes better than the last one. They were in and out quickly after the quick pick, David.
Yeah, first play, big mistake, man. Now, let's get this offense in a little bit of a rhythm. Maybe before you open it up again, Palmer, or you can trust him right away.
He seems to me like the guy maybe that just needs to kind of get into the flow of the game. So maybe you get the running game going here and just give him some easy looks to let him get lathered up.
Second down coming up. Quarterback reacting to what the D is showing. Looking downfield, it's Retzlaff. Fires to the right. Can't make the grab. Quarterback just missed him a little bit. The timing on that throw and on the route was just convoluted and messed up from the beginning.
And you see quarterbacks and wide receivers in the offseason always working on timing and always working on throwing on air. But when you put a defense in front of them, now things start to speed up a little bit. A lot of times you'll see these little mistakes and where it looks like just they're not on the same page all the time.
Third and long, and he'll try to throw for it. And the incomplete pass will bring up fourth down.
Nice job by the defense. They're mixing up their look. They're third and long in field goal range. They go zone coverage. So everybody on the back end has the eye on the quarterback, and they're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
3 straight incompletions, and undaunted, they'll go for it on 4th and 10. finds his man enough for the first. And they'll finally get him down after a terrific pickup. So they gamble on 4th down in the first half, and man, does it pay off.
4th and long. I mean, what just 4th and short? Nowadays, man, so much aggression in college football. And how about right there? 4th down and long, no problem. I got this in the first half.
Obviously, when you're playing in weather like this, the ball is very slippery and it's hard to catch. The QB threw a bullet that time, and his receiver just could not reel it in.
Last play didn't go as planned. Now 2nd and 10 from the 26. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. Unloads it left. Excellent coverage and good use of the hands to knock it away.
This defense is heating up. They got an interception the last possession. You could tell breaking on the football really, really well. Seeing where the quarterback's throwing it, going to try to get it. Got another hand on it. Almost had another interception.
They're close enough for a makeable field goal from the 26, but they'd love to convert this 3rd and long. Back to pass, it's Retzlaff. And it's picked off. And the offense makes the tackle in frustration after the interception. Drive comes up empty, and it's a turnover.
Well, we know these are slick conditions today in this game. Wide receiver just didn't seem to really get a good grasp on the ball when it hit his hands. Didn't stick right away. There's a bit of a bobble, and because of it, the defense able to come away with the pick.
The Bronco offense back out there ready to give it another spin. This late in the half, you're behind. You'd love to create something before the break to build momentum, Jesse.
But you've also had some miscues on offense, a big part of why you're losing the game right now. I'd take it into halftime, make my adjustments, and come out ready in the second half.
Yeah, I'm going to take it into halftime too, Palmer. But I'm trying to put some points up right here. Be aggressive, set the tone, be like, hey, listen, this is what you're going to get in the second half, so find something really quickly you can go to.
They'll line up for a 2nd down play. He's looking to throw. Got it in the middle. It's Genty. Tackled immediately after the catch. There's a timeout called as this offense tries to find a way to draw a little closer.
I want to get my running backs the ball in space as much as possible, and sometimes it doesn't work in the running game. But I can throw it to them. I can try to create some space out wide, dump him the football, let him make some catches, and see if I can't get some big plays out of it.
Shotgun snap on 3rd down. He hurls one deep down the left side. And they wanted it all on 3rd down, but now dealing with 4th down. The Broncos will bring the punt team onto the field. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. A low line drive and not his best work. He couldn't find much running room there. Didn't get a lot of blocking, and he'll step out of bounds. BYU has it back. The Cougars ready to get into that playbook. There's enough time left in the half here, David, to make something happen.
Dang right. I want to be aggressive. I'm not backed up.
And he is finding wide open defense. The field, his 3rd interception of the day. And he will step out of bounds, but what a play to get the ball back for his offense. This late in the half, here's the question: how aggressive will the play calling be? To the air, it's Nelson. Feeling some heat. Gonna try to get it himself. He is brought down, but man, what a job to find some running room and move the chains. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Running out of time here in the first half, they're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. They'll use a timeout right before halftime, maybe time for one or two more plays.
Make it to him. Don't let him rest. Stop defense. Tighten up defense.
Offense lines up for a 1st and 10 from the 43. Looking to move it through the air. Lofts one high and deep. Pass falls incomplete, and there are still 3 seconds left.
Offensive players know where the ball is going. Defensive players don't. Great job by the DB adjusting to the football, seeing it, playing the wide receiver, and making sure he can't catch the football.
Just enough time to get off one final play of the half. And after that short gain, they'll head to the locker room. It's halftime here. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update. BYU about to kick it off to open the second half.
Set to advance on the football.
You'll call for the fair catch. Boise State has it back, ready to go to work on offense. Those 2 first-half turnovers really damaging, and the primary reason they find themselves trailing to start the third quarter.
And this is an offense that prides themselves on taking care of the football and then having explosive plays. You know they're playing angry right now. They're mad. They know they're the reason why they're down in this game, so I expect them to come out here, lighten it up here after the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and this defense playing fast, playing physical, forcing things into action, forcing those turnovers. They played really well in this first half.
They can really be aggressive after that last play. It's 2nd and 3. Leaves it with the back. And the Broncos get enough for the first down.
Well, I know this is an offensive line that has a ton of pride, and they want to come out each and every game and really impose their will on the D-line. They got just enough push there on that run play to pick up the first.
Not much working there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The big defensive tackles in the middle, they're not always the best pass rushers, but they are strong, and I say country strong. They put their hands on you, you feel it. They lock people out on the line of scrimmage. They create separation. They wrap running backs up, and usually they don't get out of the midst of those big boys.
On 2nd down, they'll take to the air. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
And screens are all about timing, right? You want to invite the defensive line to fly up the field, and then you want to throw it right over their head. And you could tell just a little bit off, and the defense got in there so quick, got the quarterback hit before he could really get his bearings and throw the screen.
On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. Just gets rid of it to the running back underneath. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop. A famous writer once said, most men lead lives of quiet desperation. Here is a desperate move, going for it on 4th down, trailing by double figures. Using the quick game. At the 45 on its way. Turns out to be an easy conversion for this offense as they move the chains on 4th down.
And they're showing you their intentions early in the game. It's 4th down. You're in your own end. We're going to be aggressive, and we're not just going to do this early. We're going to do this all game long. Awesome execution on a critical down.
Looking to scramble. Fires downfield. And And he just overshot his man and threw it out of bounds, incomplete.
And I tell you what, I know it's little when these QBs miss and the ball's not right to them, but man, it makes such a difference with yards after the catch, and in this case, even catching the football. It was just a little bit off, and it just made it a little bit difficult for his wide receiver to try to make the catch.
On second down, he'll try to make the connection. And here's a fumble way behind the line.
Woo. Deep breath, right? Man, you fumble that thing, you cough it up, you're like, oh, I really appreciate you, brother. I can't tell you how much I thank you because the coaches would have been all over me, but big-time break for the offense.
And this offense is desperate to keep this drive alive, trailing by multiple possessions, and it's getting late. On third and long, no secret what he needs here. He lost it high and deep down the left side.
Offenses know and work on it all week. Third downs, we got to be really, really good. This offense not good on this third down. It could come back to bite them.
And how about this? They're going to send the kicker out there to try to put a thunderfoot into one. No good. My goodness, you need those field goals, guys, to cut into that deficit. We're still at 11. The BYU offense headed back out to go on the attack. From the gun, he leaves it with the back. They'll pick up 4, 2nd and 6 coming. Kept it on the ground on first down, now back to the line. From the gun, to give, looking for room. Brought down to the ground, but he has enough for the first down. Now they'll line it up from the 44 on 1st and 10. They go to the ground. You'll take 4 yards on first down every time, 2nd and 6.
Small gain, I know, but again, the defense knows he's going to run the football. He's willing to run the football, not just drop back and pass, make him honor the run game. You got to do a lot of this.
Using his legs, it's Martin. A strong tackle and wrap up from the junior. They'll need to get the ball to the 34 to convert this third down. They'll try the run. Keeps the legs moving. Just what they'd hoped for on third down as they've got a first at the 32.
And they just kind of sneaked that one in there as a defensive guy, 3rd and 5+. I'm thinking pass. They were thinking pass, Palmer, and they slipped the run in.
And it's so nice then to have this guy at running back too, right? Because you could throw it to him on third down or hand it off, and he's got the vision and the athleticism to go pick up that first, keep the drive going.
Pulls it in the end zone. Touchdown, Cougar. No midseason concentration laps here in Week 7 as they push out that lead.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not, so being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get it. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play, just like he did right there for 6 points.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Boise State ready to send out that offense. We talk about settling for points, but sometimes when you have to settle for nothing, David, it can be demoralizing.
Yeah, and it can definitely be frustrating. And I think it leads you to say maybe I go for it more, but Jesse, I think this offense just needs to put another drive together and just finish stronger.
Yeah, and be a little bit less predictable, too, especially as they get closer and closer down to the end zone.
Trying to get a rhythm in the passing game now on second down. He's looking to throw. How about that play to get a hand in there and force the incompletion?
Yeah, that was a good play on the ball, getting his hand up and getting the tip, getting the deflection. Ball bounces up in the air, falls to the ground, incomplete pass.
And this offense just has to find a way to convert this third down, or else they are really in trouble. From the gun, wants to pass. He's got it down the middle. Really nice job there by both guys to throw and the catch to work that defense and get the first down. He might have expected to see this DB up in his receiver's kitchen. Instead, nice little zone, and they pick up the first.
Man, offenses are getting so good, Reese, at seeing the holes in the zone, knowing you're in zone, knowing where to sit down, how to make it an easy pitch.
And the pressure gets to him. Down goes the quarterback.
That's the end of the third quarter. With the score, BYU 21, Boise State 3.
Second down here as they go back to work after the break. He's looking to throw. They'll run the screen. Didn't have much room to run and not a whole lot of help. Short game there and still plenty of ground to cover for the first down.
Screen pass just not working there. You figure at this point of the game, trailing, you're going to have to be more aggressive and take some shots. You usually run screen passes when you think there's going to be a blitz, but because the defense has the lead, they're just sitting back and playing big zones.
On third and long, he's going to have to throw for it. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in.
You know, it's one thing to take shots early in a game when the defense may not be expecting it, but at this point, fourth quarter, you're trailing by a lot. They know you're going to do it, and the defense was expecting that one. Great job in the back end.
Down by multiple possessions, you can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on fourth down. And it's incomplete, and the defense stands tall and gets off the field.
I know the analytics tell me to be aggressive and go for it, but in the second half, in these ball games, the analytics don't work for every single situation. And right now, you've set them up. I just hope this one doesn't come back to bite you right in the hind.
And he'll pick up one. It brings up 2nd and 9.
Man, that D-tackle is a freak athlete. Did you see him come out of his stance and beat the offensive lineman, getting to the running back? Cat-like quickness.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Wants to throw. It's Retzlaff. Quickly to the tight end. And the big fella couldn't elude the cornerback who makes a sure tackle.
It's so important that this offense is able to stay on schedule. And what that means is keeping third downs manageable. That last completion to the tight end accomplished just that. Really nice play.
Muscling ahead on 3rd and short. Moving deeper into enemy territory. Move the chains. It's first down at the 27.
It's a point in the game, I think, as a coaching staff where you really challenge your offensive line to go win the football game, right? We've got to lead late. We're going to run the football. And the defense and everybody in the stadium knows that's what's going to happen. Can we run the ball down their throats and impose our will? That's what this offense right now is trying to do.
It's just so nice to know you can start off on first down with positive plays. Positive yards, hand the football off, set up a good second down.
On 2nd down, wants to throw. Unleashes one. And they can't make the connection.
And I tell you what, we've kind of gotten to the point where we expect QBs to be robots and just never to miss and always put it right on the face mask or right on the numbers. And right there, you could tell he just missed a little bit off, and I guarantee he's tapping his helmet saying, hey, that's my bad.
Runs for the tackle. In his sophomore season, he's really learned to find that running room.
Everything going the offense's way. They're trying to ice this game late. They've got a really nice lead, so you just want to run the ball, high percentage throws, and keep the chains moving, and they're doing that. This has been a beautiful drive to watch. Offense continues to stay in a nice rhythm here late.
These situations are preached so much in college football. Finishing a game strong, understanding circumstances. They are running the football right at you, trying to keep that clock moving, get a few first downs, and get a W.
Looking to the end zone. It falls incomplete. He was trying to find his man for 6.
Perfect timing. Got there right when the ball got there. Didn't get there a little bit early. Saving the touchdown. Nice timing by that defender.